ready for the Navigating Growth and Opportunities Expo under the patronage of the Honorable Stuart Young SC MP, the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister. Hosted on Friday the 17th of January at Napa. This morning I welcome the Chairman of the Youth Mobilisation Foundation, Sule Joseph. He joins us on set. Good morning to you, Sule.
Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning.
Not a problem. How are you doing?
Well, I'm back home. I feel like...
I love that for us. I love that for us. All right, first of all, tell me, what is the Youth Mobilisation Foundation all about?
So it's an NGO that was born in 2015. And the idea of the NGO is that a couple of us who have benefited greatly from GATE and other state initiatives have decided, listen, we have been given so much, even though we complain sometimes that there's not enough, that we should come together as young professionals. Back then, most of us were very young, yeah. So
you're still young-ish in the grand scheme of things, man.
Right? And we felt that we needed to mobilize youth to give back to the community.
Right.
Right? At whatever level you're at. Even if you're in secondary school sometimes, you don't realize that we have, most of the islands don't have free education in secondary school.
Indeed.
So what we wanted to do is to have youth give back to youth or give back to communities.
Right.
So the idea of the NGO was formed for us to start mobilizing youth to do charitable works.
And since 2015, how has it been running? Give me an example of some of the kind of initiatives that you would have done.
So when there was I'm trying to remember the year, there was a massive flooding in Trinidad, I remember. And,
several, annually.
I'll skip that. There was a major flooding in Trinidad, and St. Helena and some other areas.
Greenville, right?
Yes,
right.
And Greenville, and they was under flooding.
Yeah.
And so what we did is we mobilized several areas, communities of young persons, able to come out and assist and help, to donate clothes, funds not so much because young people famous for funds, right? Yeah. But manpower. So the idea is any little thing that you can do, let's do it. Yeah. And so we were able to do that and give back.
What kind of feedback you get from the young people who get involved? Because I imagine, I know most of the young people I know are not interested in patriotism, for example. They're interested in carnival and in partying and that sort of patriotism. But when we talk about giving back and creating that community, most of them kind of a little hesitant about it. And not in no malicious way, just because that's the nature of young people. What is the feedback that you get when you work with these young people who are doing that work?
Well, actually, we haven't had necessarily a significant struggle, you know. However, I don't know if it's because of the background of several of us. So myself and the vice chair, for example, have significant backgrounds in psychology and working with youth.
Right.
Right? So my vice chair, who was supposed to be here with me this morning.
Yeah, rough shape, good, on national TV.
And set me up a bit. We've had significant backgrounds in working with children and so on and youth. And so what we found is, listen, once you reach youth where they're at, so don't come and tell our youth, here what's going on.
This we had to do.
Yeah. We had to do this XYZ thing. We want to reform economic policy and thing and that. We don't care. You don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Right. But if I say to you, here what's going on, boy, we find that there has all this crime and issues with youths and gun violence, and what program we could give to give youths a chance, right? Youths usually like the idea of having a voice.
Right.
And so bringing youth together to have a voice and give them a platform, to me, I find works very well, as opposed to telling them.
Yeah.
Because youths would like to be told.
Generally.
Right?
Generally.
Yeah, correct.
It brings out the rebellion in them.
Exactly.
All right. So then tell me what's happening at Napa this Friday. This Navigating Growth and Opportunities Expo. What is it all about in terms of this greater initiative that you're pushing?
Right. So one of the issues that we found, especially with these SOE and so on, what we found was that there was a serious issue in the Port of Spain area, because we are registered functioning out of Port of Spain area, particularly with youth. And on the youth side, when we speak with the youth complain about lack of opportunity and so on and that sort of thing. But when we speak to the other side of ministries and persons who are delivering programs, they are saying, listen, our programs are undersubscribed.
Well, this is what I was now going to say, because my DNS always come in here to advertise a program that they have, and most times they don't get full.
Yeah, so but you said, well, then there's a disconnect between the persons who are the ministries and the ministers and all these other persons, these technocrats who are implementing these programs, and the youths who are on the street who are looking for opportunities. All right. It reminded me of when I sat on a panel and we were talking about youths pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. Somebody made a comment. They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And I remember saying, what if the youths don't recognize a boot or a bootstrap? And when you hand them this Prada or fancy boot, they take it and they fling it up on the wire.
Right.
Right? Because they don't recognize that this is a boot that you pull the strap and pull yourself up with.
Yeah.
So that we are talking on two different levels. We need to come down to their level and have that conversation. So that the idea of this career fair, because that's what it is, it's a career fair. It's we are bringing all of the various vendors, all of the various initiatives and so on to the youth.
Right.
Right? And so what we want to do is to actually have them recognize these are things that are available to me. We have embassies that have come on board.
Right.
These are opportunities to study abroad. These are, these are other chances that I have. I can leave Trinidad and study with this scholarship opportunity. And so
who else is on board? So you have the embassies. You're going to have, I assume, the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service.
So we open
I can only assume.
That's like about 10 programs already.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Minimum 10.
Minimum, right? Corporate Trinidad has come on board.
Nice.
So we have people like Belgroves. We have can't remember off the cuff, but an aviation company,
nice.
company, where they'll have, where they do simulative flights and so on and whatever. If you're interested in becoming a pilot, we have somebody that we connected with through VR, the VR headsets and so on. So if you're looking for work in doing graphic design and VR and technologies and so on, come down and have a conversation with that person. Of course, the practical skills, the YTEPs and MICs and so on and whatever. So it is a wide spectrum of providers, and what I found is that when we reached out to the MP, the Honourable Stuart Young, I didn't get 2 seconds into my conversation before he said yes. So he just said, he's on board. Yes, he wants to, whatever support we require and so on. He was given thought to a similar type of initiative, and he has lent, I don't want to make it too political, but he's lent a lot of support to ensuring that initiative comes to fruition, as a matter of fact.
And it's happening this Friday, the 17th at Napa. It kicks off at 11:30 a.m. and runs till 5 p.m.
Well, there's a formal portion, right? That will be fun hour. That invited schools, all the schools in Port of Spain have been invited.
Right.
A certain amount of students. And because it adds up to quite a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a formal portion that will be for about an hour.
Right.
And from 1:30, it is open to the public.
Everybody. Yeah. Okay, so everybody can come in from 1:30 at Napa. And is it in the lobby, inside, outside?
Yes, in the lobby. So it's in the lobby. Okay. There's a portion and a specific area where all the ministers in attendance, students can come and take photos with them.
Okay.
You can speak to him. Yeah, the MP, and maybe ask some questions that you've had burning in your chest for however long. Right?
But so be careful with that. But I hear you. All right, so this sounds like a fantastic initiative. And is there an age group that says you can come from this age to this age, or is it everybody's welcome?
Well, we were targeting 12 to 25,
right?
But everybody can attend because the information you gather could benefit anybody.
Except if the media and stuff, if you're over 35, you can access none of them things.
No, but the information is valuable.
Right, fine. The information
you
is
can
valuable.
still share it with somebody you can share it with somebody under 35.
Yeah. I'll be a little salty about it now because they come with these school programs I can't take part. And I'll be like, but all right, fine, we'll share it with everybody else.
Do I need to come and offer free counseling at TTT? Is that what you're saying?
On so many levels. But that's a whole other conversation. Sule, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And congratulations on this initiative. And I look forward to seeing the turnout on Friday.
Yes, thanks.
We head into Napa from 2:30 is when it's open to everybody. From 11:30 a.m. we have the formal part starting.
Yes.
So you can check it out. Youth Development Through Guidance under the Navigating Growth and Opportunities Expo. Sule Joseph joining us, the chairman of the Youth Mobilisation Foundation. We take a quick break and we come back with more on the Now Morning Show. Stick around.